Hey guys, I know it's been a while, like a year, maybe a little longer since I've uploaded a video. You know, life happens, family, work, car stuff is just kind of was a side thing, hobby, whatnot, and it got pushed to the side. And there's a lot that's happened with my car and things like that since the last year, over a year and a half maybe. I did order a set of new turbos. These turbos came from Turbo Concepts. I sent in my RS6 factory RS6 housings and had Turbo Concepts make a set of turbos for me. Now these aren't on their website. They're actually bigger than what they sell. When I was talking with Nick at Turbo Concepts, I asked him, hey, make me something, make it big. I want to make, a good amount of power with it. And that's what he did. So I haven't even seen these yet. They've never been tested or dyno, on the dyno, so I have no idea how much power they make. I have a wish list of how much power they're going to make, and I told him what I was going to run. I was going to run between 28 and 32 psi on these things, so he knows how long those last. It's always hard to say on a journal bearing turbo. You don't want to necessarily put a lot of PSI through it versus a ball bearing turbo. So there's always some drawbacks when you put a lot of charge through a journal bearing turbo. So I already know that, so nothing in the comments about that. On my car, the motor, you guys probably saw a bunch of videos with them. I had a buddy of a buddy build a motor, and from there it had nothing but problems. You could see that in a bunch of the videos, oil leaks and crap like that. And that motor only had 3,000 miles on it, and I finally yanked it out because it was pouring smoke out the back every time I would let off the gas. It was really bad. And I sent it off to a trusted friend of mine, and he pulled the motor apart. I wish I could do it. I don't have the time. And maybe one of these days, if my YouTube blows up, which I don't think it will, and I don't intend it to, so I have to have my regular day job, working, and that motor was trash. I have some pictures and some videos, and maybe I'll make another video. We'll go through that motor, but it was eating itself alive, that motor, and it was nothing that I did. It was the person that built it didn't do a very good job. The machine work must have not. I have all the specs on how the motor was taken apart. My buddy went through and measured everything, and I have videos of the pistons and everything. Long story short, the only thing salvageable on that motor, the block and the heads. Everything else is complete trash. I asked about my turbos, and we came to the consensus, hey, we probably should replace them just because of all the crap that went through the motor. And that's where these come in. So I had these, it's been a while, a couple months. I sent my just the housings, the factory RS6 housings in, and had those modified. And this is the result. And let's open it up and see, because I haven't seen them yet, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now, my new motor that these are going to go on, it's still going to be a while. You know how getting parts and things like that, a lot of you guys know that. Stuff just takes forever, and I've been told that it's still going to take another, 3 to 6 months before I even see my motor. So it's pretty crazy. And on top of that, there might be some things I'm changing. Let's go ahead and open this up, and I'm excited to see it. Hopefully my head's not cut off or anything like that. I've done some videos, and I'm going through it because this is an old GoPro. I think it's a Hero 4, so it's pretty darn old. And so I don't have a video frame in front to look to say, hey, the video's not cut off. So I've done some of these videos where half my head's cut off or something, and hopefully this one's okay. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and open this and see what we got. My invoice. Cool. Ah. We all know the awesome stickers. You know, these always add a lot of horsepower. These are beautiful. Look at these. Woo! Don't want to drop them. Oh yeah. So it's using my factory exhaust housing. This is actually an RS6 factory part. I think the center, I don't remember the center section is or not. And well, there we go. Exhaust side. Pretty neat. I wish I had my old turbo so I could do a comparison on these, but I sent those to them. I might have the center section or the impellers, but that's all I would have. Here's this one. Pretty cool. I did have the wastegate set to 18 psi because of how much pressure I wanted to run through these things. They look pretty neat. I do have the specs on these wheels. I don't know if I want to share them just yet, but I will eventually share the specs on the wheel, especially as we tune the car. And I'll give you the specs of the motor too, because the piston size, all the stuff that went into this motor, the fueling and things like that, because it's going to be, I'm hoping 700. I want the motor to be about 700 wheel horsepower. That's what I told my friend, but I wouldn't be sad if it made 800 wheel, and that's kind of where I'm building the hardware for, is around 800 wheel horsepower, and we'll just find out. But if it makes 700, that's a pretty happy car. That's a pretty fun car to drive, and that's all this is. It's not a race car or anything like that. It's just a car to have fun and blow off some stress from work related or family related stuff. That's all I really want is something to enjoy driving. And it's hard to enjoy driving something when it just sits in your garage for a year or a year and a half and something like that. So I'm excited, and I can't wait till as these parts start rolling in and when my motor comes back in, I'll be really darn excited. Until next time, guys, keep wrenching.